this wasn't on the docket, but can we talk about Cejudo versus Cruz for a second? Everybody knows Jose Aldo didn't win the fight. Marlon Morales won the fight, but then they still gave the title nod to Jose Aldo. I'm not a big fan of it. I wish they would have kept it the way it is in the history books. I get it. I agree. I thought Aldo won the fight. I'm there, right?
But that wasn't the situation. You know what the situation is, why the fight was scrapped. The fight was scrapped because he didn't take care of his fucking visa, man.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about that part. I'm just talking about the part of why he gave the title fight to Aldo, not Morales, in the first place.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I understand that.
So, yeah, then fast forward, there's between the whole COVID thing and his visa and all that, some stuff got messed up, and now that he can't travel out of Brazil.
And yeah, because of course the restrictions are still there. So yeah, I understand that.
I get that part. But now insert Dominick Cruz, who hasn't fought in 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years. And you're just going to plop him right into the title picture. I know Dominick Cruz is a name. I get that part. But is that really? I don't know, man. I don't know if I agree with it.
Well, we're not in a situation to where you're either going to agree with it or disagree with it. These guys have to scramble for this first show back. And whether or not, and we're in a situation to where there are so many fucking travel restrictions where even if you wanted to get the right person for the fight, chances are you probably wouldn't be able to, because there are so many countries that have travel restrictions that are still in place. No matter what kind of cash you front up, there are some countries that are saying, no, we're not opening our borders and we're not lifting travel restrictions because the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So said Captain Spock so many years ago. And it's above any one fighter. It's above any one promoter. It's above any one promotion. So that's why they're doing everything that they can. You may not agree with it, but our choices are limited, especially in the title picture when we have so many international fighters that are quarantined and grounded literally in their respected countries. So we've got to do the best that what we've got with what we have. Now, if you don't agree with that, who do you believe would be a better suit in that title position considering the travel restrictions in place?
Morales.
All right. Is he stateside?
He lives in Jersey.
Okay, so he's stateside. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, he won the fight. Now, if that's not possible, save the fight. Put that fucking Woodley Covington fight in there that I personally would like to see more anyways, just personally. Put that fight, but make that co-main event.
Yeah. They're doing what they're doing for a reason, and I love the idea. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see if Dominick Cruz has got severe cage rust, and if that's going to translate and finally derail this Cejudo train. Jesus Christ, I get sick of man. He's thinking he's the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, he's done some amazing things, but he's no GOAT.
I like it.
No.
It's cringy, but
it's cringy. The only reason that it's cringy, the only reason that it's somewhat cringy for me, is because he has some impressive moments. But as far as overall, the GOAT. I mean, the guy. What is he? He's 17. He's 15-2.
Yep.
As a professional. Now, as far as a fucking wrestler, the guy's a fucking legend.
Right.
The guy is a fucking legend. He's a gold medalist. He is a gold medal. I mean, he's up there with fucking Kurt Angle and shit like that. That's incredibly impressive. Do I think he's the GOAT? No. I don't think he's the GOAT yet, because he doesn't have. He's got a pretty good victims list. I'm not gonna lie. It's not horrible. It's certainly not horrible. The only thing that needs to happen, which of course is never going to happen, is that we're never going to see that trilogy between him and Mighty Mouse. We're never.
I'm not concerned about not seeing it, to be honest.
Well, I know, because the last one was a split decision, and it was, I get that. I get that. And, we may never see Demetrius Johnson again because, I mean, how many years did Demetrius Johnson spend in the UFC being the absolute most underrated fighter that the UFC's ever produced to have the record that he had at the time? I mean, it's just, but the problem with it is that he was fucking boring. And when you're fucking boring, man, it's just, you can't do a lot about that unless you actually make those changes for yourself for the better. And he's still got a stellar record. Don't get me wrong. The guy's 30-3. That is a great fucking record, man. I mean, how many years did he go undefeated? I mean, he went from what, 2012 to 2018. He did 6 years.
Yeah.
Unopposed.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And he was busy in that 6 years on top of that. He was busy on that 6 years. And look at the names of the people that he lost to. Brad Pickett, Dominick Cruz, and Henry Cejudo.
Right.
And in all of those fights, he didn't get knocked out and he didn't get tapped. They were all unanimous decisions. Except for Henry. I'm sorry, Henry was a split.
I think when Dillashaw comes back in January, I think he comes back and fucking smokes whoever's at 135.
I want to see Demetrius come back. I don't think he's not being utilized right in one. I don't think they're utilizing him right in one. He needs to come back. He needs to be repackaged. They need to send his ass to fucking promo camp. Because
to help him, he's got no personality, dude.
Well, like I said, send him to acting class. Send him to promo fucking camp. He's making all that fucking money. You're telling me that you can't take acting classes on the side, or they can't get him hooked up that way?
Here's the problem. You can't.
I know you can't force it. You either got it or you don't. I get that.
Yeah, you can't expose what's not there. I think could they do a better job? Absolutely, right? They could do a better job. Do I think it's really going to matter that much? Because let's just say they put the machine behind Demetrius Johnson and give him all the cool promos and all the cool, Demetrius Johnson, 83-0 UFC legend.
But he's also a fucking flyweight. Flyweights are tough to sell. Henry Cejudo is the only one who's actually been an interesting motherfucking flyweight. I'll give him credit for that. It's just he makes himself to be out the GOAT. He's got this Ric Flair attitude and everything like that. And I can understand it, and I can also appreciate it. And he's got some wonderful wins under his belt. But he doesn't have the career that fucking Demetrius Johnson has.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a 6 years unopposed. Yeah. Which was fucking incredible. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, can he still be building upon his legacy? Absolutely. Without question. Will it, continue unopposed now that, he, has all the gold? I don't know. I have no fucking clue. Just like we were talking about before, you're only as good as your dance partner.